Hello, and welcome to this 60-minute Vinyasa practice with me, Sarah. This practice will have a focus on opening the front of the body, so the quads, hip flexors, abdomen, chest, and fronts of the shoulders. So you can start in an easy, comfortable seated position, legs crossed, hands resting comfortably. Close your eyes and start to arrive in this space. First, taking in your surroundings, noticing any sounds you hear, noticing how the mat feels underneath of you, the texture of the air that you're breathing in. And then bringing your awareness inside. What does it feel like to be in your body today? Connecting with your body, with yourself. And then bringing your awareness to your breath. Breathing in and out of your nose, lengthening the breaths a little bit. In a Vinyasa practice, we do an ujjayi breath, breathing through our nose and the breath making a slight constriction in the back of the throat, sort of channeling a Darth Vader sort of breath. Using this breath as a tool throughout our practice to guide us, to help us through the pose. So if the pose ever gets difficult, turning to our breath, breathing through the pose. And start by taking some really slow neck circles. So start by dropping your chin to your chest and then inhaling halfway, so bringing your head to the back, and then exhaling your chin back to your chest, finishing the circle. So inhaling the first half of the circle and exhaling the second half. Once you've finished the circle you're on, switch directions, taking it nice and slow. Full inhale for half the circle, full exhale for half. And when you finish the current circle, bring your head back up to neutral position, open your eyes, remove the pillow if you're sitting on one, and come to sit on your heels of Vajrasana. Start with a tall spine, looking forward. And then inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale to open your arms, goalposting them. Inhale, reach up, look forward. Exhale, open your arms. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, open, pressing that chest up and open. Inhale, reach up, reaching up high, and exhale, open, really pressing open the chest. This time, inhale and reach forward, bringing your chin to your chest, rounding, and exhale, open. Inhale, reach forward, rounding the spine. Exhale, open. Take one more. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, open. And bring your hands back to your sides. Inhale, reach up with your right arm and then start to make really big, slow backward circles with that right arm. like you're doing a very slow backstroke. And switch to your left arm. 2 circles each side. And then both arms together, up and around. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Bring your palms together and then pull down with your fist, stretching open your chest. Pulling your hands away from your body. Looking slightly up. And then lower your forehead down to the mat, keeping your hands interlaced, letting them come overhead. Inhale to rise back up to Vajrasana. And release your hands. Plant them on the mat. Bring your knees back to a tabletop position. And drop your belly, look forward for cow pose. Exhale for cat, rounding the spine. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Inhale for cow. And exhale for cat. Really rounding the spine, pressing into your hands. Inhale, cow. Pressing the chest forward. And exhale, cat. Come back to neutral spine. Bring your right hand up to the sky to twist open. Exhale, replace your right hand down. Inhale, left hand up to the sky, twist open to the left. Exhale, plant your hand. And then keeping your hips above your knees where they are, start to walk your hands forward, placing your chin down on the mat. And if you can, your chest, otherwise letting your chest drop towards the mat, sink down, trying to press your chest down to the mat for puppy pose. Feel this opening in the arms, fronts of the shoulders, stretching the upper back. And then start to walk your hands back. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up for our first downward facing dog of the practice. So you can bend one knee and then the other. Inhale your right foot up to the sky, and then bend your knee to open your hip. And if you want to, you can drop your right foot down for Wild Thing, pressing your hips and your chest up to the sky. Come back to three-legged dog and exhale your right foot down. Inhale, lift your left foot, three-legged dog, bend your knee, open your hip. And if you want to set it down, flip over for Wild Thing. Feeling nice and lifted. Come back to three-legged dog. Exhale, replace your left foot down on the mat. Keep walking out your dog. And then find some stillness. Inhale to walk, step, or hop your feet to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend one knee and then the other. Keep working into the backs of your legs. On your next inhale, rise up, reach your arms up to the sky, and exhale, Samasthiti, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. We'll do some half sun salutations. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up. Start to press your hips forward and start to lean back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up, look up. Press hips forward, lean back. Back bend here. Exhale, Samasthiti. And then drop your hands down for Tadasana. Stand really tall here. Grounding through the feet. Nice strong legs, nice open chest. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, press hips forward, back bend, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant hands, step or jump back to a high plank, and lower to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. So I'm going to say that if you are stepping back from your forward fold, step back to high plank and then lower halfway for Chaturanga. If you're jumping back, you should jump back straight to Chaturanga, not jumping back to high plank and then lowering because this is not good for our shoulders. Bend your knees and hop, step, or jump to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up, look up, lean back. Exhale, Samasthiti. Take a breath here. Inhale, reach your arms up, press hips forward, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant hands, move back through Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, press your chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Externally rotating the arms. Pressing your heels down towards the mat. Pressing your sit bones up and back, lengthening the spine. Inhale, your feet between your hands, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up, look up, back bend. Exhale, Samasthiti. Take a breath here. Inhale, reach up, look up, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant hands, move back through Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Take an extra breath here. So taking another exhale and then an inhale. And then on your next exhale, move to downward facing dog. On these down dogs, really reconnect with your breath, gazing at a spot between your feet. Inhale, bend your knees, walk, step, or hop, up, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, reach up, look up, back bend. Exhale, Samasthiti. Take an inhale and an exhale here. And then interlace your fingers behind your back and pull down to stretch open your chest, just like we did earlier while kneeling in Vajrasana. When we do these poses where we're stretching our chest, it can feel a bit hard to breathe, but it gets better with practice. And keeping your hands where they are, fold forward, letting your interlaced fingers fall overhead. and release your fingertips down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands and move back to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Press chest forward. Exhale, down dog. Inhale to wave forward to a high plank. Take a full breath here. Exhale and inhale. And then on your exhale, move your hips back and up to down dog. Again, inhale to wave forward to plank. Hold for the exhale and the inhale. And then exhale your hips back and up. One more of these. Inhale to wave forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bend knees, hips back and up. Inhale, lift your right leg for three-legged dog. And then exhale to bring it between your hands, plant it, and lower your left knee down to the mat. Keeping your fingertips on the mat for a moment, and then lifting them up to the sky for a low crescent lunge. Really sink your hips down towards the mat, and you can start to move your fingertips up and back for a back bend here. And then exhale to bring your left hand to your right knee. Reach back with your right hand to grab onto your left foot for a quad stretch. You can push your right knee slightly out to the right, looking over to the right for a bit of a twisted quad stretch. It helps the stretch be a little bit deeper here. Exhale to release your left foot, and inhale to reach your arms back up, and then start reaching up and back again. See if you can come further back than before after stretching your quad and hip flexor. And then exhale, bring your palms down to the mat, tuck your left toes, inhale your right leg up and back, three-legged dog, and exhale to release it down to the mat. On your next inhale, lift your left leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it through, plant it between your hands, lower your right knee. Stay on your fingertips for a moment, look forward. And then inhale your arms up to a crescent lunge. Starting to reach up and back. Exhale, bring your right hand to your left thigh, reaching back with your left hand to grab hold of your right foot. And then looking over to the left, opening your chest to the left and pressing your left thigh slightly over to the left. Breathing here, still sinking your hips down towards the mat. On your next exhale, release your right foot and inhale to reach your arms up to the sky, moving them up and back, reaching up and back, and seeing if you can come further back than before. Exhale, slowly bring your hands down to the mat, tuck your right toes, lifting your left foot up and back, three-legged dog, and exhale, replace it on the mat. Downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, plant your right foot between your hands. Rise up for warrior one. You can always take your time here. First bringing your hands to heart center, finding the pose, and then reaching your arms up to the sky. Squaring your hips towards the front of the mat. And you can have your left heel lifted off the mat if you'd rather have your hips square towards the front of the mat. On your exhale, Bring your hands down, interlace them behind your back to stretch open your chest. Exhale, bend your left knee, and then inhale to launch forward for Warrior 3. Keeping your interlaced fingers lifted off of your low back. Drop your left hip slightly to square your hips towards the mat. Nice and strong here. And then inhale to lift your torso, hugging your left knee into your chest. Next, coming to eagle pose, so setting your left thigh on top of your right, bending your knees, bring your arms out to a T, and then swinging your left arm underneath of your right, clasping your hands in front of your face, and then lifting your elbows up and away from you. Sink your hips a little bit lower, and pull everything nice and tight. Breathing here. Keeping your arms where they are, come back to a Warrior 3. Nice and slow. Warrior 3, eagle arms. And then unwind your arms and come to Ardha Chandrasana. So bringing your right hand onto the mat about 6 inches in front of your right foot, left hand up to the sky. Left hip open to the left, so left foot is flexed, toes are pointing out towards the left. Nice and strong here. And on your next exhale, lower down to Warrior 2, lowering your left foot down to the mat. Nice strong Warrior 2 here. Looking out over your right fingertips. Pressing your outer left foot down towards the mat. Nice deep bend in the right knee. And on your next exhale, cartwheel your hands down, step back and lower for Vinyasa. Make sure you're not rushing your up dog in the Vinyasa. Inhale your left foot up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, plant it between your hands. Rise up, Warrior 1. Taking your time to find the pose in your lower body first before lifting your arms up to the sky. And then exhale, lower your hands, interlace your fingers behind you, stretch open your chest. Exhale, bend your right knee, and inhale to lift off to Warrior 3. Nice and strong here. Chest and leg both nice and lifted. Your hands lifted off of your sacrum. Inhale to bring your right leg forward, hug your knee into your chest, and then set your right thigh down on your left, arms out to a T, swoop your right arm underneath your left for Garudasana eagle pose. Sinking your hips nice and low and lifting your elbows, finding your balance. Wrapping that right foot behind your calf if possible, but if you can't find it, that's okay. Unwinding your legs, lowering to Warrior 3, keeping the eagle arms. And then unwinding the arms, bringing the left hand down in front of the left foot, opening to Ardha Chandrasana. Right toes are flexed, nice and strong through the left leg. And exhale to lower the right foot to warrior two. Bend a little deeper in the left knee. Look out over your left fingertips. Keep breathing. And exhale to cartwheel down your hands, lower to chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Good job. Reconnect with your breath here in the downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, plant your foot between your hands, rise up to warrior two. So turning your left toes towards the left side of the mat. Pressing down through the outside of the left foot. Looking over your right fingertips. Shoulders over hips, not reaching too far forward. Inhale to straighten your right leg, reach forward, and then bring your right hand to your right shin, left arm to the sky for triangle pose. Bringing your right hip forward in space and your left hip back. Looking up to your left fingertips, nice and strong, through the left arm and the left hand, nice and open. Inhale to rise up and re-bend into the right knee for warrior two. Inhale for reverse warrior, reaching your right fingertips up and overhead and moving your right shoulder back slightly to open your chest. Inhale back to warrior two, and then exhale for extended side angle. Left fingertips reaching up and overhead. Right forearm pressing into the right thigh to open it. Keep pressing your outer left foot down into the mat. And breathe here. Use your breath as a tool to help you through this pose. Inhale back up to warrior two. Straighten your right leg. And then turn all 10 toes towards the front of the mat. Clasp your elbows behind your back. And then fold forward for Parshvattanasana, pyramid pose. Wide-legged pyramid pose. And then bring your left hand to your right shin and your right arm to the sky for a revolved triangle pose. Looking over to the right, pushing your left heel down towards the mat, doing your best to balance, and possibly looking up at your right fingertips. And inhale to come back to warrior two, bending your right knee. Inhale for another reverse warrior. Inhale to warrior two, and then exhale to cartwheel your hands down and go for Vinyasa. Nice and slow, not rushing, and meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, planting your left foot between your hands, rising up to warrior two. Check your feet so that your left foot is in line with your right heel. Sinking a bit lower in the left knee. Straightening your left leg, reaching forward, and then bringing your left hand to your left shin, right arm to the sky. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Inhale to rise back up, warrior two, bend back into the left knee, and then reach your left fingertips up and overhead for reverse warrior, keeping that bend in the left knee. Inhale back to warrior two, and exhale to extended side angle, reaching your right fingertips up, forward, over top of your head. Keep pressing the outer right foot down into the mat. Inhale back to warrior two, and then turn all 10 toes towards the front of the mat, clasping elbows behind your back, and then folding forward into a wide-legged pyramid, Parshvatonasana. And then bringing your right hand to your left shin and left hand up to the sky for a revolved triangle. Not an easy pose. Use your breath here. Inhale to rise back up, bend your left knee for warrior two. And exhale to cartwheel your hands down for Vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Reconnect with your breath. Bend your knees, inhale, move your feet between your hands, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise up, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then hands to your sides. Inhale, hug your right knee into your chest. And then place the sole of your right foot against your left inner thigh or your calf. Bring your hands to heart center for tree pose. Find your balance looking at one spot. Once you've found it, you can lift your arms up to the sky. And then bring your right hand down on top of your right thigh for hanging tree. And start to push your hips to the left, leaning to the right. Balance challenge. Inhale your right hand back up to meet your left, and exhale your hands back to heart center. Grab onto the outside of your right foot with your right hand, and then grab the inside of your right foot with your left hand, and start to bring your right quad parallel to the mat. Coming to Natarajasana dancer's pose, and then you can release your left hand and bring it to a mudra in front of you. Reaching up with that left hand. Pulling your quad parallel to the mat. And then releasing down to Tadasana. Inhaling your left knee, hug it into your chest. And then bring the sole of your left foot to your inner right thigh or to your right calf, but not on top of your right knee. Hands to heart center. Inhale, reach your hands up to the sky, and then bring your left hand on top of your left thigh, starting to press your hips to the right and lean to the left for hanging tree. Inhale to reach your left hand up, and exhale your palms down. Grab onto the outside of the left foot with the left hand, and the inside of the left foot with your right hand, pulling your quadricep parallel to the mat, keeping your chest nice and lifted for Natarajasana. And exhale and release your left foot down to the mat. Hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold all the way forward. And you can wrap your hands behind your calves. Nice and comfortable in this forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, move back to chaturanga, up dog, and then down dog. Slowly lower your knees down to the mat and then come to sit on your heels for Vajrasana. Reach your arms up to the sky. Take a few breaths here. Exhale your hands to heart center. And next we'll come to a reclined hero's pose. So you might want to grab 1 to 2 pillows and a block. If when you sit, you're sitting on your heels and then you widen your feet. And if you cannot reach your butt cheeks down to the mat, you want to have either a pillow or a block underneath. So grab those to help you out. And then you can also place a second pillow down behind you. So when you lean back, you can be laying down on that. If you have big calves, you can move your calf muscles out to the side. And then sit your hips down either on the mat or on your pillow or your block. If you can't lower all the way down, you can just stay upright. Otherwise, lowering down, keeping your chest nice and open. This pose might be quite intense for you, so keep breathing through it. And you can reach your arms overhead and then grab opposite elbows, opening your chest even more. And then bring your hands to your feet and start to walk yourself back up. Remove your pillows. A nice big opening in the quads and the hip flexors and the chest, the whole front of the body, that pose. And we'll come to a couple of twists, a couple of seated twists now. So start in Dandasana with your legs extended out in front of you, feet flexed. Bend your right knee. Place your right foot on the outside of your left thigh, keeping the whole sole of your foot on the mat. Swing your left foot around so it's next to your right hip. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, and exhale to twist to the right. Bringing your left shoulder forward and your right shoulder back, looking over your right shoulder. Every inhale, lengthening your spine, and every exhale, twisting deeper. Inhale to unwind. And then bend your left knee, place it on the outside of your right leg. Swing your right foot around. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. And exhale to twist to the left, bringing your right shoulder forward and left shoulder back. Every inhale, lengthening your spine, and every exhale, twisting deeper. Inhaling to unwind, extending your legs out in front of you. Place your hands behind your hips about a foot with your fingers pointing towards you. And then inhale to lift your hips for reverse tabletop. pressing your hips up towards the sky. And then exhaling to lower them down slowly. Cross your legs, and we'll take a nice, easy, gentle twist here. So placing your left hand on top of your right knee, right hand behind you, twisting to the right. And then back through into the other side. And then back to center, rolling over your legs and coming to lay on your belly. Hands next to your armpits. Inhaling to lift up for cobra, keeping your pelvic bone on the mat, really pressing your chest forward here. Tops of the feet pressing down into the mat. Breathing here. And exhaling to lower your chest down, placing your right cheek on the mat, arms alongside the body. We'll do a few back strengthening, back bend poses here. So the first one was Cobra Bhujangasana, and the second one will be Shalabhasana, half locust pose. So interlace your fingers behind your sacrum, bring your feet together, and then inhale to lift everything up, your legs, your chest, and your hands off of your sacrum. Keep breathing here. Keep lifting. And then exhale to lower down. Left cheek to the mat, arms alongside of you. Bend your knees and grab onto the outsides of your feet for Dhanurasana, bow pose. Bringing your knees closer together, not letting them come wide. And then inhaling to lift your head, lift your chest, and lift your knees, kicking your feet into your hands to lift them higher. Breathing here. Nice steady breath. Lifting a little bit higher. And exhale to lower. Right cheek to the mat, arms alongside your body. Feel your heart beating in your chest. Meet kneeling at the top of the mat to come to Ustrasana, camel pose. So your feet can be flexed, your toes tucked underneath. Your knees should have about 2 fists width in between them. Start by bringing your hands to your low back with your fingertips pointing down and pressing your hips forward to start. And then leaning back, looking up. Eventually, if you can, reaching your hands down towards your heels, grabbing hold, and really pressing your hips forward. Most important part of this pose is pressing the hips forward. Breathing here, even as we're pulling our chest muscles, stretching open our chest muscles. And bring your hands back to your sacrum. Inhale to rise up. And then come to lay down on the back, on your back. Bend your knees. Bring your feet close to your butt. Tuck your elbows underneath of you a little bit. And then inhale to lift your hips, interlacing your fingers underneath of you for bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana, trying to not let your knees come out wide. And exhaling to lower your hips down. Now you can do a second bridge, or you can come to Urdhva Dhanurasana, wheel pose, upward facing bow, with your hands next to your face with your fingers pointing towards your body. Start by inhaling to lift your hips, and then exhaling to lift your chest and head off of the mat. Really pressing your hips up towards the sky wherever you are. Breathing here. And then tucking your chin and lowering slowly your hips down to the mat. Hug your knees into your chest. Bring your forehead to your knees, and you can clasp opposite elbows, giving yourself a nice big hug, rolling into a little ball. And then bring your arms out to a T and let your knees fall to the right, supine twist, keeping both shoulder blades on the mat, looking out to your left fingertips. Inhaling your knees back to center, and then exhaling them over to the left, looking out to your right fingertips. Trying to relax here after the intensity of the back bends. Inhale your knees back to center, and then grab the backs of your thighs, start to roll along your spine, rocking and rolling back and forth. Eventually crossing your legs, rolling over, coming to a tabletop, and then bringing your knees wide, feet together, and come to Balasana, child's pose. Sinking your hips back towards your heels, laying your forehead down on the mat. And then inhale to come up, meet in a downward facing dog. Inhaling your right leg up to the sky and exhaling it through for pigeon pose. Inhaling to broaden your chest, and then before you fold, rolling onto the right hip, the right side of the right leg, and then rolling back to center. This helps us to start to open up a little more before we fold forward. Setting the right butt cheek down on the mat. Do this a few times. And then if you want to move a pillow underneath your right hip, if it still isn't touching the ground, inhale to lengthen your spine, and then exhale to fold forward. Finding your stillness, relaxing your upper body, and sending the breath to your right hip, your right glute, your right hamstring. Feeling this deep stretch. On your next inhale, walk your hands back, slowly rise up, broaden your chest, really lengthen the spine, come onto your fingertips, and then bend your left knee, reaching back with your left hand to grab hold, and try and slide your left foot to your left elbow, your mermaid pose. Trying to lengthen through the spine, channeling a back bend here, coming onto your right fingertips. And exhale to release. Tuck your left toes, bring your right leg up and back, three-legged dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up and back, three-legged dog, and then exhale, bring it through for pigeon. Lengthening the spine, and then again rolling onto the left hip, the left side of the left leg. Start to open up the hip. And broadening your chest before folding forward. Find stillness in this pose. Really relaxing your upper body down over your left leg. Inhaling, walking your hands back, lengthening your spine, coming onto your fingertips, and then bending your right knee, reaching back with your right hand to grab hold of the inside, and maybe sliding that foot towards your right elbow. Feeling this nice deep stretch in the right quad. Release your right foot and then swing your legs out in front of you. Come to lie down on your back. Grab onto the outsides of your feet, lift them up for happy baby. Pulling your feet down towards your armpits. Pressing your lower back down towards the mat. Feeling the stretch in your hamstrings and your hips. And then bringing the soles of your feet together and lowering them down to the mat for Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees wide. Breathe here. Feeling yourself relax into this pose. And then come to an inversion. So you can come to legs up the wall or shoulder stand or a headstand if you have learned to come to a headstand safely. Getting your lower body over your upper body. Really calming, relaxing pose. And then finding your counter pose. If you were in a headstand, this is child's pose, balasana. And if you were in a shoulder stand, fish pose, matsyasana. Bringing your forearms, laying on your back, bringing your forearms down to the mat, and then pressing into your forearms to lift your chest up to the sky and bringing the crown of your head to the mat. Pressing your chest up to the sky in the fish pose. And then giving yourself a big hug, curling into a tight ball once again, giving yourself a bit of love. And then releasing to Shavasana, palms facing up, so shoulder blades together, a bit to open your chest. Feeling yourself relax down, muscles melting into puddles. Letting all this goodness from our practice sink in. Energy flowing more freely throughout the body. Taking this in our Shavasana. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, move your head from side to side, wake up the body. Reach your arms overhead for a full body stretch. Bend your knees into your chest, roll onto your right side, using your right bicep as a pillow, keeping your eyes closed. And press your left palm into the ground. Come up to a seated position. Take a few last moments here in stillness, in silence. Thanking yourself for taking this hour to practice yoga, to connect with your body, your mind, your spirit, your energy. And think of a couple other things that you're grateful for in your life. People, skills that you have, experiences that you've had, talents that you've been blessed with, obstacles you've overcome. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, and exhale, bring your prayer hands to heart center. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Namaste, and I hope to see you again soon.